Alina Habba, on Monday, had her opportunity to go into court and explain to the appellate courts in New Jersey why she should be allowed to continue to be able to play her role as acting or interim or whatever it is now U.S. Attorney for New Jersey. As everybody knows, the other courts had already said, no, your term ended because you were not confirmed. You cannot legally continue on in this position. You have to have somebody else. The courts, under their own authority, are able to appoint that person. They did. Bondi fired her. Her and Trump put Habba back in place. And the courts were like, yeah, you can't do that. But Habba's like, no, you got to let me stay. And here's the thing. We do not yet have this ruling from the appellate circuit in Jersey. But everything hinges on Alina Habba making her case that she should be able to keep playing U.S. Attorney. And when I say everything, what I mean is that all of Donald Trump's political prosecutions could be instantly undone if Alina Habba is told, no, you can't play U.S. Attorney anymore. You have to go home now. And here's why. Because much like Alina Habba, Lindsey Halligan, the U.S. Attorney for the Western District of Virginia, was also not confirmed by the Senate. She was just put there by Pam Bondi on a whim because Trump liked her. She was his insurance lawyer, put her in this position. She's never prosecuted a case a day in her life. That's not what she was. And she immediately started prosecuting, or at least indicting, Trump's political opponents. James Comey, Letitia James. Basically, if you got James in your name, she's going to come after you, I guess. But if the courts in Jersey do decide that Alina Habba was not convincing enough that she should be able to stay U.S. Attorney, then Halligan is going to face the same fate. And if Halligan faces the same fate, the courts say, no, you weren't confirmed by the Senate, you can't be here, then everyone she is indicted, automatically, immediately, those cases are thrown out. And that, of course, is according to law school professor Barbara McQuaid, who, of course, is a legal expert. We've talked about her before, but McQuaid said this. It means that every one of those cases that has been indicted since she took office over at that office is null and void. It's the same thing we saw in Florida when Judge Eileen Cannon dismissed the case against Donald Trump, finding that the special counsel had been inappropriately appointed contrary to regulations and law and the Constitution. So, we have to wait and see, right? But I think the funniest part about all of this is that it all rests on how convincing Alina Habba was during that hearing on Monday. And as I've said in the past, Alina Habba is, in my opinion, one of, if not the worst attorneys in the United States. She lost every single case that she handled for Donald Trump, including some that were very easily winnable by a competent lawyer. I'm glad Trump lost, don't get me wrong, but still. Habba's that bad. So all of Donald Trump's political prosecutions right now are hinging on whether or not Alina Habba could pull it together for 20 minutes to make her case. If I were a betting man, I'd go ahead and put money on all those other political prosecutions being thrown out, because I have zero faith that Alina Habba was able to convince anyone that she should be able to stay as the U.S. Attorney. Thanks for watching, everyone. We're inching closer and closer to 1 million subscribers, and we're aiming to hit that goal before the year closes. So if you aren't subscribed to the channel, please do so, and don't forget to like, comment, and share. Thanks for joining us as we head towards this huge milestone.